Hey, what's up, everybody, including Lottie Dottie? It's your boy Retro with you. I'm in the wind, but not on Ruby Red. But we do have things in place to get Ruby Red back on the road here, hopefully soon. She'll be picking up some parts, if not later on today, tomorrow, and maybe by next week she will be, on and popping once again. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you can hear me well. It's been a while since I tried to go live straight from YouTube, and but I'm just hoping that all is well. Late start for your boy today. As you can see, we are not in the studio, but instead we are on ground. And it's a beautiful day here in the Carolinas. Absolutely beautiful day today here in the Carolinas. Again, we're going to be working with 90-degree weather. It's been a thing for the past couple weeks, high 90s at that. And so you've got to do what's necessary to stay hydrated and make sure that you're not out there in dangerous way. Well, if you're out here, you're in dangerous way, but you got to, do the best you can to, maneuver. All right. So hydrate, then hydrate, and then after you hydrate. So I think the key word today is hydrate, especially in these kind of temperatures, because otherwise, man, you'll mess around and find yourself in a pickle, man. And we talked about heat exhaustion before, and dehydration and all that stuff. And typically, by the time you start to notice the signs of dehydration, you're already dehydrated. So again, the key word is hydrate, and then hydrate. Okay, and don't wait till the day of to, gulp down a whole bunch of water thinking that that's going to do it, because that may cause some other issues. So case in point, today is Thursday, Friday Eve, right? And let's just say you're planning on doing a weekend trip Saturday and Sunday. You should have already been making sure you were taking in enough water to ensure that your body is hydrated, because you get out here. Here's the thing that I found, guys. Hot day, just like the other day, Tuesday, I was out riding, and I didn't have far to go, but it was extremely hot. It was in the mid 90s. Actually, it was in the upper 90s. And I told my wife when I got home, because I told her, I said, hey, babe, I'm going to head to the house. I check in like that. That's how we do. And because anything can happen from point A to point B. And if I check in, she has a better idea as to where I started and where I should be. And so that would give her at least idea where to look or whatever. So anyway, she said, oh, baby, I feel so sorry for you, because it was hot. It was real hot Tuesday here in the Carolinas. And but anyway, when I got home, I told her, I said, well, it really wasn't that bad once I got going. You know what I mean? And okay. Sorry about that, guys. And so I told her, once you got going, it wasn't that bad. And I think that's one of the things that can trick you with heat exhaustion, or more specifically dehydration, because it's 90-some degrees out, but you're going. You're on the interstate, or you're on a nice back country road, and so you've got plenty of movement and wind, and that wind feels real good, but that sun is still beating down on you like a daggone, I don't know, like a bull or whatever. And so anyway, just be careful, guys. Be careful. Today was a tough start for me today, though, man. How about you guys? I want to say this. Difficult days are to be expected. Yo, are you serious right now, man? Oh my, just pull right out in front of me, man. Oh my goodness, man. These people are freaking idiots. Oh my goodness. You don't know how much that burns me, man. It really, oh my God. See what I'm saying, man? All right, what was I saying? Bad days, huh? Yeah. Bad days are to be expected. And I'm on the fat boy today, guys. As you know, Ruby Red is down. And that is one of the main reasons why I'm going to get my wife on a newer bike that has ABS, because these older bikes that don't have ABS, um, you know, reflex for me is to grab a little bit of rear brake and clutch, and then and downshift. But as soon as you touch the rear brake on this thing, yeah, she's ready to lock up like it did just back then. And so if you're not an experienced rider, yeah. So anyway, bad days are to be expected, right? There's nothing we can really do to eliminate them or to avoid them completely. And so when you have a bad day, the question is, what do you do? How do you deal with it? How does it affect you? Does it affect you? Does it throw you off your game? Now, I mentioned Mike Tyson quite a bit because he's a very interesting person to me. I like Mike Tyson. His story is very interesting. But he was interviewed at one point, and they asked him what was his most memorable fight or what was his best fight, I think. And ironically enough, he said it was the fight between him and Buster Douglas. Well, the fight between him and Buster Douglas resulted in his loss. And so, what do you do when you're used to winning, but all of a sudden you're facing a loss? You're facing an L. What do you do? How does that affect you? Does it mess with your mind? Does it mess with your flow? Does it mess with your energy? Well, Mike Tyson went on to say that his best fights because he discovered he did prove. He did, and so, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, when it comes to a bad day, we say it's a bad day because it's not going the way we wanted it to. It's not going the way we expected or anticipated it to do. It's a bad day because we're facing something that looks to be getting the best of us. But even in the midst of it getting the best of you, it is also bringing out the best in you. So you've got to accept the bad days along with the good days. There's a songwriter, and he says, I've had some good days, and I've had some bad days. He said, I had some hills to climb. He went on to say he had some sleepless nights and all this, that, and the other. But one thing he said that was profound. He said, my good days outweigh my bad days, and I won't complain. So I want to get that over to you on today, this afternoon. You are going to have some bad days. I don't care what you do, what you say, you're going to have some bad days. But on your bad days, look for the clues. Look for the nuggets. Yeah, you saw that, baby? I'm saying. I'm just now seeing my wife's comment. Look for the nuggets. Look for the things that point to your success, that point to opportunities for growth, okay? And then just keep it moving. You know, people have already seen you succeed. But now when they get a chance to see you go through a struggle and they see you go through like a G, that's when your ratings go up. Yeah, I'm glad you're not alive. Yeah, it was close, baby. You already know how I am, boy. My blood started to boil, and I tell you the truth, if I wasn't recording, I ain't lying. I would have turned around. I'd have made a U-turn, and we'd have had to have a conversation. But then guess what? That could have turned into something else, and that something else could have turned into something else, and quite frankly, it ain't worth it. And so, you know, sometimes we got to learn when and how to just let things go. And sometimes that's exactly what a bad day will do. A bad day is not teaching you how to smile and how to be great. It is, but it ain't. And sometimes it's those bad days that's trying to teach you how to let things go. You know, because see, here's the deal. A lot of times we think that everything is good, and it is, but it ain't. I say it is, but it ain't because it's good when it's good, but what happens when it's bad? What happens when it's not good? All right. Now, if everybody is saying, hey, how you doing, Mr. Retro? Hey, how you doing, sir? Hey, you know, then, you know, the good is always shown in me. But Who is retro when someone pulls in front of him? Who is retro when somebody cusses him out? Who is retro when he's facing something that he doesn't want to deal with? That's when you find out your truth. That's the test of one's true character. You know, and again, a good day, it happens during a bad day. So, it's a beautiful day today, and I want you to declare and decree that even if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, you woke up in a bed. Okay, you say, well, I didn't. I woke up on the floor. Well, you woke up. So there's a bright side to every story, all right? Say it with me. There's a bright side to every story. Good job. You're going to get some new crayons for that. Okay, so there's a bright side to every story, and irregardless of where you are in life right now, God's not through with you yet. We used to sing a song back in the day, please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. And then it went on to say, when he has tried me, I shall come forth as pure gold. Yes, indeed, I shall come forth as gold. And so I don't know what's going on with me. I told my wife this morning, it feels like I've been cutting grass all day because I'm allergic to grass. And when I cut grass, my sinuses go flaring up and everything. But I haven't cut no grass because it's been so hot down here. The grass ain't been growing. I ain't been on the mower in weeks. And so I don't understand why my sinuses are doing what they're doing. But I am dealing with an extreme headache. I have been staying hydrated. I've been making a point of duty to hydrate. And thank you, baby. I'm going to be safe as I can. But anyway, it's a beautiful day here in the Carolinas. It's supposed to be in the low 90s. I think Alexa told me it's going to be like 94 degrees. Look at that. Man, y'all should have saw that Thunderbird off to the side of the road. Looks like about a 1969. Absolutely beautiful. I might have to stop and look at it on the way back. I guess we shouldn't only hydrate on water, but also hydrate on your character. There you go, baby. That part right there. Because if you don't hydrate on your character, when things like that just occurred for me pop up, you might not make it. Yeah, you might not make it. So I figured I'd let you guys ride with me for a little bit. I ain't got nowhere far to go. And you could be leaving your house going 5 minutes around the corner to the 7-Eleven, and on these motorcycles, anything could happen. So not only hydrate for your body, physically and literally, hydrate for your attitude and your character, but also hydrate in prayer. I mean, you know, you got to send those prayers up, man. You got to talk to the Father, and don't wait until your life starts going to hell in the handbasket to say, hey, God, remember me. But the Bible says men ought to always pray and not faint. And that's real talk. Talk to him from time to time. When you're not sure how things are going to work out, talk to him. It'll calm your nerves. I promise you it will. It really will. And you can tell a person who's prayed up because they are not easily agitated. I didn't say they couldn't become agitated. I just said they're not easily agitated, you know, because prayer, contrary to popular beliefs, is not to change God's mind, but it's to change our mind. And the more we talk to the Father, the more we get a glimpse of who he really is. I preached a message a few Sundays ago, do you know him? And the more we talk to him, the more we get to know him. And just like your spouse or your significant other, the more you conversate, the more you talk to them, the more you get to know them. I've been married now. We're married now for over 28 years. True story. As a matter of fact, June 29th just passed, made 28 years for me and my beautiful bride. We've been hanging out since we was 15 years old. I posted a picture this morning of me and her at the Cornerstone back in 1992. God almighty. I want to say that picture was taken in like 91, 92. And so we've been rocking together that long. And but it's still interesting talking to her, because here's the deal. When we were 15, I knew her as a 15-year-old. When we were 19, I knew her as a 19-year-old, as she was walking down the aisle looking so gorgeous and so beautiful, getting ready to say, I do. And as we grew, we still continue to get to know each other, because here's the real deal. You are constantly changing. Circumstances, situations, and things of that nature cause us to continue to grow, evolve, mature, learn, and things of that nature. And so as I grow, things about me change. So the things that were necessary to keep me happy when I was 19 are different at 48. I'm just saying. And so don't think because you've been with somebody for 20 years that you know them. You knew them, but do you know them? So every day something different happens, and that's a chance, an opportunity that's for us to be altered. So talk with your people. When was the last time you sat down without your phone and talk with your significant other? I tell you, man, my wife, she can ask some questions that I don't really want to deal with sometimes. But just because I don't want to don't mean I don't need to. And that's why some of us stray away or stay away from conversations with certain people, because we know at some point in the conversation they're going to ask you something that you don't want to deal with. But you need to. You need to. So anyway, prayer is not to change God's mind, it's to change our mind. One's perception is one's reality, and sometimes we perceive things incorrectly. And talking with the Father, being in His presence, will shed light, illumination, insight, wisdom, pertaining to situations that we've looked at all wrong. You see, sometimes it's not the people that are bad, it's just your way of viewing the people that's bad. And therefore you perceive them as a threat, when in all actuality, they were sent there to help heal you. That's retro philosophy for you. You ain't got to take it, but I would, it might do good for you to at least consider it. I love these country roads, guys. I've got to get Ruby Red back on the road so I can get my wife her bike back. I've just kind of taken over her bike. I did, but I haven't. And so she need to be out here on this country road with me. That's what we call rolling hills, guys. Look up ahead. See the truck pressing the hill? Absolutely beautiful. So I don't know what you guys got planned for today or for this weekend. I do understand there are quite a few events going on. There's a charity ride here in our area. Man, I really want to be a part of that ride too. And maybe I'll just ride the Fat Boy. We'll see. Going through a small town called Harmony as we speak. Very small town. And headed to Moxville. I could have hopped on 40 East and got there about maybe 5 minutes earlier. But it's such a beautiful day, I decided I would take the back roads. Anybody want some corn? I can stop and get you a few stalks of corn, if you guys want some corn. Let me say this too, man. When riding country roads, or any road for that matter, but especially country roads, because sometimes they got those curves like this, I found out that you have to use all of your senses. No, let me explain. Look at this curve right here, guys. The camera, the phone really doesn't do it any justice. It's much steeper than what it looks like on the phone. I'm looking at my phone right now so I can see what it looks like, what you're seeing. but in actuality, it's a much more severe curve. All right, now picture going into this curve right here, and all of a sudden there's grass clippings all over the road. That could be a bad experience, okay? And so what has helped me countless times is paying attention to the smells. I don't know how sensitive your nose is, but you can smell the smell of cut grass, and you'll smell it before you see it. And so if you are ever out and about riding on a back country road or any road for that matter, and you smell the smell of grass, be vigilant because there very well may be some grass clippings up ahead in the road, okay? And grass clippings and motorcycle tires usually don't play well together, okay? And it irks me because these folks be out here and they got all that field, but they choose to blow it right into the daggone road. I'm like, I used to do landscape, and I had many of properties that were right there on the road. And what I would do is, even if it was an inconvenience to me, I would make sure I spin the mower the other way and blow it back toward the yard versus out into the street. And if for any reason grass clippings did make their way into the road, I made sure I got on it ASAP and blew it off the road, because I would hate to see a biker go down because of my negligence. So anyway, just a little food for thought that came to mind as you guys get out and ride those tubes on those country roads. If you smell grass, then chances are grass is going to be up ahead somewhere. So pay attention. There's been times when I was in a curve, and there it is, a bunch of grass clippings. And so in a situation like that, I do my best to straighten up as much as possible without, how do I explain it? Okay, so I'm in this curve right here, but if you go into your curve right, you have a little bit of leeway where you can straighten that bike up without going off the road. And I try to go over grass or anything that might be slippery, whether it be water or anything like that, as straight as possible versus in a lane, because that's more chances for you to literally wipe out. You say, well, Retro, I don't ride a motorcycle. Okay, well, it's still good for you to know this the next time you're out cutting your grass. Don't throw the clippings into the street, because it's extremely dangerous for us bikers. So that's really about all I got to say. See, look at that. Hold on. Look at that. See what I'm saying? Perfect example, guys. Perfect example. And guess what? I didn't even smell it. I didn't even smell it. I turned the camera around just a little too quick a while back, because as soon as I got onto that curve, grass everywhere. And I don't even see a mower anywhere, so it's not like he's cutting the grass and he's done. But he chose not to get it out of the road. So you said, well, Retro, you just said you could smell the grass. Well, here's the deal. It's a nice, cool breeze happening right now, and it's blowing in the opposite direction. So instead of blowing the smell this way, it's blowing the opposite way. So if I was going in the opposite way right now, I'd smell the grass before I seen it. But unfortunately, in my situation, the wind was not working in my favor. It was blowing the opposite way, the same direction that I'm going. So the smell of the grass didn't catch me before I saw the grass. And it was right there too as the road started to curve. So it's ironic that we were talking about it and then rolled right up on it. So there's so much to be aware of and so much to learn. And you're always learning, guys. Always. All right. So I'm hungry now. The question is, do I go when I hit this little local diner that I hit all the time when I'm up this way, or do I go hit the awful waffle? Choices, choices, choices. Let's see, what time is it? It's 11:30. Maybe I'll just go and hit the little diner. Yeah, I guess I'll do that, guys. I'll hit the little diner. If I would have hit the Waffle House, I could have hit off 40, got off at the next exit, and have been right there. I could actually continue straight, make a left, go down some more country road, and and come out through the back way and be right where I need to be in terms of the Waffle House. Some may say the awful waffle. I'm all right with the Waffle House though, man. One thing about them, they're consistent. I went to a Waffle House in Wilmington. Wilmington, yeah, we was in Wilmington, and we were actually doing the NC Four Corners, and Wilmington was the first stop, and that Waffle House was literally the first stop on our trip, right? And I thought that the GPS was deceiving me because they said that your location is on the left, but I'm not seeing a standalone Waffle House building because all Waffle House is the same structure, right? No, not in Wilmington, downtown Wilmington. They got a bougie Waffle House downtown Wilmington. I was like, nah, bro, this ain't right. I walked in, the floor wasn't greasy or nothing. I mean, I was like, I felt out of place. It just didn't seem right. And lo and behold, we get the food, and the food was off. I said, man, get me out of this bougie Waffle House. Take me back to the little awful Waffle House joint, and where the food is much better. But anyway, food wasn't horrible, but it just wasn't hitting like normally Waffle House does. But that was the first time and only time that I've seen a Waffle House. It was like it was downtown Wilmington, and it's a beautiful building. But the Waffle House is all right with me, man. When I'm traveling, like I said, they're consistent. I usually always get the same thing. I might get a waffle with pecans or hash browns, covered, scattered, and chunked. But I like my onions raw. Don't cook them on the grill. Throw them on last. And depending on how I feel. Bernard George, how you doing, sir? Depending on how I feel, I might tell him, hey, throw in a little bit of chili on that thing, too. And, yes, sir. And now that I'm doing all this Waffle House talking, I ought to just detour and head on back there, but I ain't going to do that. I love this little stretch here, too, guys. I've taken you down this stretch before. As soon as I get this repair done on the road glide, me and Specs are going to get together, and maybe some of the other Cam fam, and we're going to do some back road exploring. I tell you, these country roads, man, whoa, y'all didn't see that, but something just hit me right in my face shield, big old bug, splatted. Good thing I had on a full face. On a day like this, normally I would probably just wear a half shell. And I'm so glad I had it on because that thing was about the size of a nickel, it seemed like. Felt like a rock when it hit my windshield. But, yeah, country riding, man, is the absolute best. Mooresville has a lot of country roads, man. Me and the wife took off one day, and we rode probably for about 2 hours. Absolutely beautiful, though, man. See, I cut out on you guys. I don't even know how long it was out. But sometimes when you have the time, man, it makes good sense to just tell your GPS, avoid highways. Better yet, turn your GPS off, and just turn down some roads you've never been down before. See where they lead you to. It's your boy Retro, man. Thank you for pressing play. Yeah, Shelly said that's why I always wear my full face. Yeah, that's good practice. Hot or not, it's good practice to wear that full face because, as they say, and it's true, dress for the slide, not for the ride. And if you got you a good full face helmet, you should have, at least one source for ventilation. Some of them have 2 and 3, so you can still get some wind blowing through that helmet. If you've got a modular, you can always just flip it up. The one that I'm wearing today is not a modular, but it's a great helmet still. I actually love the way it fits. When I first got it, it was on the tighter side, But I figured it would loosen up a little bit, and it did, and it's almost a perfect fit. And so, hey, y'all be blessed, man. I'm gonna grab me a quick burger, and then I'm going to head over to my assignment, and then I got some other stuff to do later on. So we may or may not go live on the way back down the road, but we will be going live from the studio tonight, from the Retro Philosophy Show studio, because today is Thursday, and you already know what it is, man. On Thursdays we talk all things motorcycle ministry, so we'll be speaking tonight to those of us who serve in motorcycle ministries or Christian MCs or anybody that wants to listen for that matter. So God bless you guys and have a good one.